Your head's kind of chopped off.
And good March, every one of you Sand Run Travel travelers. I hope you're all feeling a little bit better than I am. Um, as you can see, I'm working from my office without a background today. It's just a little bit effort. My computer forces me to use a backdrop, and my hip is about done. I've got 9 days to go with it, and hopefully I'm back up and operational a whole lot better than I feel right now.
Countdown.
Countdown. I feel like I'm on the 12 days of Christmas. Uh, anyway, we've got springtime coming, and San Run Travel is making some huge changes to our schedule for this year. And we thought we'd tell you how great a cruise we did have, even though I couldn't get off the ship completely. Reg did. We lost Reggie for a second there.
Yeah, I'm losing you. It's going in and out.
Were you?
I'm back.
You were able to get off the ship on this last cruise, right?
Yes.
What do you think of the ports?
Oh, we had a great time. Cabo was fantastic. The view was of the arch and everything was just spectacular. Mazatlan was a gorgeous town. I'm really impressed by the way it looked. And Puerto Vallarta, the tour we did there, going to the Rhythm of the Nights off on a outside island, that was just amazing too. And I didn't hear anyone have anything bad to say about any of the excursions.
I tell you what, I told Pat, and I'll tell most of our travelers, it's a cruise. And by the way, the Carnival Panorama ship was just spectacular. We absolutely enjoyed the heck out of that ship. But I am planning to go back on that tour, on that cruise. If we don't do it with Sand Run Travel, I saw what everybody was enjoying, and want to go back and experience it myself as soon as I can.
It's definitely going to be worth it to you to go
Yeah.
back, and I'm sure a lot of the folks that went with us um, would be lining up saying, "Yeah, that I wouldn't mind going back and doing that again because
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun." The Panorama is, I mean, as far as one of their newer ships, because it didn't get a chance to sail for 20 and 21 because of COVID, it's still like they're selling on a brand new ship, and it
Yeah.
had plenty of things to do, plenty of activities to keep you busy. Everything was neat and clean. The staff was fantastic, and it was definitely a trip well worthwhile.
And right now, I know at the very worst, I'll try to replan that one probably in February 24, because I would like to make sure that we go when the whale watching season is on again. And just in case those of you who don't know, we have now formally booked and are planning a Panama Canal tour for our winter escape in 23. That will depart February 4th for an 8-day cruise, which will include partial transit through the Panama Canal. It will also include Costa Rica and Grand Cayman and on Carnival. So that's done. We have some other exciting things to talk to you about today. One thing that's not so exciting, though, Reg, can't seem to get the casinos to want day trippers to come in anymore, do we?
They are not offering anything extra to get you to come down. They're basically saying we're open if you want to show up, come on down, but we're not going to give you any kind of enticement to do that. I have seen a couple of flyers from a couple of different groups that they are trying to put some day trips together, and but even that without offering anything, I'm not sure how they're doing as far as filling their buses and things, but people are still going to give it a shot. So we'll see what happens, and we're going to keep an eye on the casinos and see if they at some point do start to make some changes. Now, I did see that Wheeling was opening their buffet up.
Yeah.
So, some things like that are starting to happen where buffets that had been closed are opening. Some of the other restaurants that had been closed are opening back up. Some of the other venues where they're having shows and things are starting to open back up, but most of them have still not reopened their bus programs at all.
Yeah, I know the Seneca Nation up in New York is opening up, but for a day trip, it's a little long haul for all of us. It puts you on the road for about 6 hours plus for 5 hours at the location, and it just for sand run travel that just seems like an awful long day. We are, and I'm going off script here a little bit now that we're talking about it. We do, though, have Mother's Day for you planned um, up to Seneca, Niagara, and they are giving a very nice program for the overnight folks. Mother's Day is Sunday, May 8th. Get your mom, send your mom, uh, take your family, spend time in Niagara Falls, and we'll be at the glorious, gorgeous Seneca Niagara Casino Resort Hotel. You will get $70 in slot play and $30 food comp. So for the overnight folks for 2 nights, they're doing a nice job.
That's great.
So, yeah, it really is. So folks, get a hold of us. Let's make sure that trip goes off. I can't remember what the price is. It's out on the website. I think it's about $245 a person. And we will be including 3 wineries and the tastings at those wineries along the way. They will be 3 of our, at least 2 of which will be all-time favorites. I know I'm hoping to do Willow Creek, and Reg, we've got one that always does us a great job up there on Mother's Day. I lose it. I'm forgetting the name of it.
Merritt?
No, it's not Merritt, although we may go there. Forget it, folks. Sign in, get with us, eat, drink, and be merry on Mother's Day, and hopefully win some money. Along with along with some other things, and the cruise lines are still requiring vaccinations, and folks, I'm not sure when that's going to stop. Some are requiring boosters as of March 1st, but others aren't. The one change I know recently with Carnival is at this point your positive or your negative test has to be within 3 days now as of March 1st, but not 2 days like we had to deal with going out.
And the other thing they did is they recently changed their mask mandate, where before you had to have a mask anytime you were outside of your cabin on the ship. Now that is optional.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're seeing some of the mask mandates getting relaxed, which will make a kind of a friendly change on the casino, on the cruises, especially in the casinos. And we're not seeing cruise lines canceling cruises, although they are changing itineraries as this COVID thing just keeps going on and on. And things like MSC has apparently put its Barcelona cruises on hold, but we'll get to that in a minute. Life looks like it's going to attempt to get back to a reasonable normal with the cruise lines. But that's still dependent on what goes on with COVID, what goes on now with Ukraine. There are just some huge questions going on when we travel outside the country. And we've looked at it and made some decisions for this year based on kind of the nervousness we saw when folks were, including us, were waiting to go on a cruise in LA, far away from home, and still weren't sure whether all the tests were going to come in negative. Got thinking about how that might play if you're overseas. The real question and difficulty of planning some of these things overseas. So Reg and I got together actually while we were on our cruise, and made some, if you will, executive decisions.
Hey, big shot executives here.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, we're not in. We have, based on the changes in COVID, we have changed our Mediterranean cruise. We have canceled it. And we have decided that we will go out of New York City, which is close enough for a port, and do a Canadian and New England fall foliage cruise in September. Same date, really, September 10th. And go up there for 7 days instead of going across the big pond and worrying about COVID in other countries and wars in other countries and all that other kind of stuff. So we're going to shelve that for this September. It's a cruise Reg and I have been talking about trying to do for what, 7, 8 years, I think.
Yeah, a few years now for sure. And finally, we're finding a way we can try and pull it all together. So we're going to see if we can pull it off. Now, they call it a fall foliage tour. Not really sure how much fall foliage we're going to get to see because September early is still a little early for the leaves that have started changing.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that up in New England, though. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so that part we're going to have to just kind of play by ear and see how it goes. But it still should be a good time. The weather should still be decent. And it's definitely going to be some fantastic seafood.
Yeah. And we are going with Carnival, and which is really one of our primary lines that we like to deal with. And so we're going to give it a go, guys. We're on board already. You'll find the current pricing out on the website for if anyone is ready to go, wanting to go, past guests, casino guests, get a hold of us. We will get you your best rate and join us on this unusual cruise for us. We don't usually cruise north. We usually are heading down south and into the warmer weather. So that's on the docket for coming up. And actually, after we have a little discussion here, we're going to run you a little video of Halifax, maybe get your appetite a little wet. Then this summer, we are definitely changing the cruise that we were going to take. We are still going to go to the Caribbean, but we're kind of adjusting to how we're going to get there and what we're going to do. Right now, we've got really 2 or 3 cruises in mind. One would go out of Charleston, one would go out of Baltimore, and one would go out of Miami. The Charleston cruise is a 5-day cruise. The one out of Miami will be a 5-day with Virgin Voyages, or the one out of Baltimore would be a 7-day with Carnival down to the Bahamas. And we're playing around with that. We hope to make a decision actually tomorrow. So watch the website. We're trying to do it so that families can maybe join us on one of these great cruises. And maybe if we're going to the Bahamas, Reg and I can put our Bahamian citizenship and show you around.
Yeah, because I think the one out of Baltimore does go to Freeport.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
So,
and that was kind of my home spot down there. While Nassau was Steve's home spot, and we were able to find some pretty neat things to do in both places.
yeah.
Even though we were traveling at different times.
I really would like to see Freeport now that you mention it, because they've had a struggle getting back on board after the hurricane. So I'd be very interested to see how they're doing it. And then one last thing for cruising is that we have decided, or I have, and Reg, I think, is going to join me on this. We will be changing our 2023 schedule a bit, because start thinking about the fact that we are going to do a 14-day cruise out of Athens, Greece, which will include a couple of days in Egypt and ending up in Dubai. That will begin in October of 23. And so we'll probably be moving our Vegas trip probably up a month, up to September maybe. So we'll see what that does. But folks, if that we like to hear about bucket list tours and things people want to do for their bucket list. That one sounds like a bucket list to me. I don't know about you, Reg.
That definitely sounds like a bucket list trip. I've had a few people ask me about Dubai, and they've seen pictures of it on TV and in movies, and they're like, "Wow, I really like to go check that place out." So this may be that opportunity to go see something new, do something different, and have some other unique experiences to add to your list of bucket list trips.
That's it. Well, right now we're going to branch off here and show you a little short video about Halifax, and maybe you'll get interested in joining us this September and going up the Great North. So here we go.
Anytime I go anywhere in the world and I say I'm from Halifax, people's faces light up because they have a great story about meeting somebody from Halifax or being in Halifax. It's like the nicest place in all of Canada, I think. Like, the people are great, the scenery is great. You can't see anything like this anywhere else.
I know everybody in the neighborhood, and I think I just love that community feel. This is my home, and I love it, and I love the people in it.
Surf culture in Nova Scotia is like a little bit difficult to really like nail down, but one of my buddies said it's like California in the 60s. Kind of quiet. It's got a real community feel and a lot of good people. It was 10 years professional surfing, and we kind of slowly wound down. We wanted to have a family, so we set up a little shop at the beach where we teach surf lessons and rent surfboards and wetsuits through the summer and early fall. A lot of people will ask, you could have lived in Indonesia or Hawaii or California, but you're in Lawrencetown, like kind of a strange choice, but it's actually like incredible. We have world-class waves, but then when you're ready to leave that and go people watch and go to some restaurants and things like that and some nightlife, you're right there.
Make some noise! Get above! Get above! I was singing those same damn blues.
Growing up, I discovered this really cool music scene at this place called the Pavilion here in Halifax. I met a whole bunch of people going there, different musicians around town, and it was a cool way to just dive into the music scene here. Nightlife is definitely thriving here. There's so many pubs and bars here, and each one's unique and has a different taste. You might go to Dirty Nelly's, but then you might go to somewhere's Bitter End, which is a cocktail bar. Or you might go to the Pint, which is a sports bar. And then there's so many music bars as well. I really think the city has something for everyone. And that's not something you always find in cities.
I think in Dartmouth you have everything. If you're outdoorsy, you can go to Shibby Park, you can go swimming, you can go rowing on the lake. You can then stop, you can have a great beer at New Scotland Yard, grab a cider from Lake City, go to Battery Park, have a flight of all different beers from the province. Of course, come to the canteen, have something to eat, and then just stroll the downtown. There's so many amazing stores. Go to Tibbs, have a coffee, grab a slice from Yaya's.
People ask me, what are the must-sees and must-dos of Lawrencetown? And surfing is obviously one. The walking trails are pretty fantastic. And the drive out here is amazing, right? You're just winding in and out of the coast, and then you kind of come around the corner at Lawrencetown and you see these incredible waves.
We just wanted to be that neighborhood hub. We feel part of this community. We wanted to see Dartmouth's downtown come back to life.
There's not many places that you can live this close to the ocean without being a millionaire.
My goal is to bring everyone here to see all this. It's incredibly beautiful out here, and the world deserves to see this place.
But don't take it from me.
I'm just a high school dropout. It's funny how it turned around. Just a burnout. Tell me who's laughing now. I'm living my best life. Something in the air tonight. High school dropout. It's funny how it turns around.
Well, there you go. I hope that enticed you to try to come with us this September. If I can find any other videos about Vancouver and Nova Scotia, or not Vancouver, Nova Scotia, maybe I'll pop another one on in the next month or so. In the meantime, remember Mother's Day. Remember to sign up for cruises. And we're going to give a $25 gift certificate away. Reg told me that we had 600 people engaged with us last month. So how about number 328, Reg?
Number 328 is Jenny POTUS Wales.
Wow, Jenny,
POTUS
and
Wales.
she was a LinkedIn, wasn't she?
She was a LinkedIn contact that contacted us and made some comments on our site there. And we want to give a shout out to Jenny to say thank you for checking in with us and continue to follow us. And you never know, maybe your turn is next to win the next $25 gift certificate.
You got that right. Jenny, send us your contact information and we'll get a $25 gift certificate out to you. So that's it for March. I hope I have really good news about myself next month when we talk to you in April.
Yeah, by the time we talk again, you'll have had surgery and should be up and moving around a little bit.
It will be wonderful, I'll tell you. So until such time, folks, safe travels, safe health, and just stay positive.
Take care, everyone. Check with us. Check the website, www.sandruntravel.com. And if you can't reach us there, reach out to us on Facebook or LinkedIn.
All right.
And, we look forward to seeing you.
You bet. Bye-bye now.